Rayatwari settlement remained one of the significant revenue systems employed by the British in India during their colonial rule. Example. Reference. A brief history of modern India by Rajibai and Inspector Publishers. Introduction. The Rayatwari system was introduced in Madras, Bombay and Assam by Thomas Munro in 1820. It was supposed to be moved for present and improved air condition. It was mainly introduced to overcome the lacunae of the zamindari system and increase the revenue collection for the British. Body. Features of Rayatwari system. The government could deal directly with the farmer, Rayot, for revenue collection, and the peasant may cede or purchase more land for agriculture. Peasant were made landowner and it can be taken away only for non-payment of revenue. Freedom was given to give up or acquire new land. Middlemen were eliminated who offered oppressed peasant and provided false assessment of land being cultivated. Shop condition as well as the system would transform peasant into rich farmers, but this did not happen. Rayatwari settlement seems fair and practical on paper but proved to be worse than zamindari system. Impacts of Rayatwari system. High taxation rate. Levy was not based on actual revenue from produce of land but instead on estimate of potential of the soil. 50% for dryland and 60% for irrigated land. Payment of land tax and cash. Cash payment through cultivators. Exposing them to demands of money lenders is an alternative to the loss of land and starvation when profit revenue officials harass villages. Subordinate revenue officer revenue as powerful activities when activities supervised their industries and large pressure for non-payment delayed payment was free of cash talks in order to gain rich profit farmers spending. Example of governments supposed to grow cash talks like in which lead to scarcity of food grains and infertility of soil. Land became commodity. Excessive marketing of land for payment of tax and cash has led to loss of sentiment that existed between land and the farmers. Many older cultivators and occupancy tenants have the problem right to own land. Farmers more convenient to lease out land to land and tenancy result in relevant to cultivating themselves. Time. Landholdism became the main feature of the areas and also in the environment for information or using rights. Since the cultivating tenants were generally unprotected and the overcrowding of land led the tenants to compete with one another to acquire land, the rent of land went on increasing. Therefore, even though in theory the Rayatwari settlement was supposed to provide development settlement, in practice its impact was farmers. It became a more devilish version of zamindari system. 2. The 5-year plans played a crucial role in promoting industrialization in India, contributing to economic development and employment generation. Discuss. Reference. Insights on India. Introduction. The term economic planning is used to describe the long-term plans of the government of India to develop and coordinate the economy with efficient utilization of resources. Economic planning in India started after independence in the year 1950 when it was deemed necessary for economic growth and development of the nation. About 5-year plans. After independence, India launched a program of 5-year plans to make the resources encouraging rapid economic development in India. Development plans were formulated and carried out within the framework of the mixed economy in India. Economic planning was adopted in the form of 5-year plans and was seen as a development to go down of previous seasons. The need for social justice's experience of the past 5.5 decades suggests that in a free enterprise economy, economic gains do not necessarily trickle down and judicious mobilization and allocation of resources in the context of overall development program in the light of the resource constraint in India so far. 12 5-year plans have been formulated since the year 12 5-year plan 2012-2017 came into force once it was approved by the NBC on the 27th of December 2012. Achievements of 5-year plans. Economic growth. Economic planning in India has been successful in increasing the national income and the per capita income of the country, resulting in economic growth. The net national income and factor cost increased from Rs. 4,393.45 billion in 1966-67 to 45 rupees, 733 billion in 2011-12 and 2004-05 prices. The per capita income increased from 8,876 rupees to 38 rupees or 48 during the same period at 2004-05 prices. The average growth rate was increased from 3.5% during 1950 to 1970 to about 5.5% after 1990s. The economy recorded a growth rate of 7.8% during the 11th 5-year plan. Progress in agriculture. The first 5-year plan focused on agricultural development. However, agricultural sector did not receive priority in the subsequent plans. Yet, with various initiatives implemented in the agricultural sector such as the Green Revolution and agricultural pricing policies, there has been a considerable increase in the output of the agricultural sector. The index of agricultural production increased from 85.9 in 1970 minus 71 to 165.7 in 1999 minus 2000 this year 1981 80. The production of major food grains which includes rice, wheat, cross cereals and pulses has increased from 77.14 million tons in 1958 minus 59 to 152.2 tons in 2015-16. With the introduction of Green Revolution, the yield per hectare of food grains has increased from 662 kilograms in 1959 minus 60 to 2056 kilograms in 2015-16. Similarly, the production of commercial crops has also recorded an increasing trend. Various reforms in the agricultural sector such as the Rashtriya Krishi Bima Yojana and Kisan Credit Cards during the 9th plan and National Food Security Mission and Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana during the 11th plan have been quite successful in improving the performance of the agricultural sector. Industrial growth. Economic planning has also contributed to the progress of the industrial sector. The index of industrial production increased from 54.8 in 1950-51 to 152.0 in 1965 minus 66 this year 1960-61, which is about 176% increase in production during the first 3 5-year plans. It fell from 109.3 in 1980 textiles, paper, medicines, food processing, consumer goods, light engineering goods, etc. Public sector. The public sector played a predominant role in the economy immediately after the independence. While there were only 5 industrial public sector enterprises in 1951, the number increased to 244 in 1990 with an investment of 99 rupees, 830 crores. However, the number of public sector enterprises fell to 217 in March 2010. Very high profits were recorded by petroleum, telecommunication services, power generation, coal and lignite, financial services, transport services and minerals and metal industries. The government has eliminated a number of restrictions on the operational and financial powers of the Netherlands, many in several other profit-making public sector enterprises. Infrastructure. Development of infrastructure such as transport and communication, power, irrigation and sea is a prerequisite to rapid economic growth and development. Expansion of transport facilities enables easy movement of goods and services and also enlarges the market. Irrigation projects contribute significantly to rural development. Power projects help in meeting the growing demand for power by both industrial and household sector. The total road length increased from about 400,000 kilometers in 1951 to about 4.7 million kilometers in 2011. The route length of the Indian railway network has increased from about 53,596 kilometers in 1951 to about 64,450 kilometers in 2011. The investment in infrastructure as a percentage of GDP was about 5.9% during the 10th plan and increased to about 7.2% during the 11th plan. Education and healthcare. Education and healthcare are considered as human capital as they contribute to increase productivity of human beings. Considerable progress was achieved in the education as well as health sector during the 5-year plans. The number of universities increased from about 22 in 1950-51 to 254 in 2001. The number of institutions in higher education has increased to over 100% since 2008. With the growth in the number of institutions, the literacy rate in India has increased from 16.7% in 1950-51 to 74.04% in 2011. Health infrastructure. India has been able to successfully control a number of life-threatening diseases such as smallpox, cholera, polio, TB, and C. As a result, there has been a fall in the death rate from 27.4 per thousand persons in 1950-51 to 7.3 per thousand persons in 2016. The life expectancy has increased from about 32.1 years in 1951 to 68.01 years in 2014. The infant mortality rate has declined from 149 per thousand in 1966 to 37.42 per thousand in 2015. Growth of service sector. Service sector is the key contributor to the economic growth of India. The service sector contributed to about 53.2% of the gross value added growth in 2015-16. The contribution of the IT sector to India's GDP increased from about 1.2% in 1998 to 9.5% in 2015. The service sector has recorded a growth rate of about 138.5% in the last decade. Financial services, insurance, real estate and business services are some of the leading services that have been recording a robust growth in the past few years. The rapid growth of the service sector in India could be attributed to the inflow of huge amount of FDI in the sector. India's share of service exports in the world service exports has increased from 0.6% in 1990 to 3.3% in 2011. Savings and investment. Savings and investments are major driving forces of economic growth. The gross domestic savings in India as a proportion of GDP has increased from 8.6% in 1950-51 to about 30% in 2012-13. The gross capital formation has increased from 8.4% in 1950-51 to 34.70 in 2012-13. Capital accumulation is the key to economic development. It helps in achieving rapid economic growth and has the ability to break the vicious circle of poverty. Science and technology. India is the third most preferred destination for technology investments. It is among the top most countries in scientific research and space exploration. India is also making rapid progress in nuclear technology. ISRO has made a record of launching 104 satellites in one go on a single rocket. India today has the third largest scientific manpower after USA and Russia. The government has undertaken various measures such as setting up of new institutions for science, education and research, launching the technology and innovation policy in 2013, strengthening the infrastructure for research and development in universities, and encouraging public-private partnership and sea. Foreign trade. On the eve of independence, India's primary exports were agricultural commodities and UK and US were its major trading partners. India was largely dependent on other countries for various capital and consumer goods. However, with the development of heavy industries during the 5-year plans, India has been able to reduce its dependence on other countries and was able to achieve self-reliance in a number of commodities. With the liberalization of trade, India now exports about 7,500 commodities to about 190 countries and it imports about 6,000 commodities from about 140 countries. The exports of the country increased from ours. 54.08 billion in 1977-78 to us, 17,144.24 billion in 2015-16, and the imports have increased from us, 60.20 billion in 1977-78 to us, 859.27 billion in 2015-16. Major failures of planning. Slow growth. The planning process in India has been able to achieve considerable increase in the national income and per capita income. Yet, the rate of increase has been slow as compared to developing countries like China, which have been able to achieve more than 10% growth rate consistently. India was able to achieve a growth rate of only about 4 to 5% during the pre-reform period. It was only during the post-reform period, after 1991, that the country could experience a growth rate of over 7%. Impact of agriculture. The 5-year plan failed to pay attention to the agricultural sector except for the first 5-year plan. As a result, The agricultural growth rate declined from 3.62% in 1991 minus 92 to 0.81% during 2009-10. And the share of agriculture in GDP declined from about 50% during 1950-51 to about 16% of the GDP in 2015. Unemployment. The plans have failed to address the problem of unemployment, which is a cause of many social evils. The unemployment rate has marginally reduced from 8.35% during 1972 minus 73 to about 6.53% in 2009-10. It was about 4.19% in 2013. The growth rate of employment has recorded a decline from 2.61% in 1972 minus 73 to 1.50% during 2009-10. The employment in the primary sector recorded a negative growth rate of 0.13% in 2009-10. Widespread poverty. Failure to address the problem of unemployment has resulted in widespread poverty in the country. The first four plans failed to address the problem of poverty. It was only during the fifth five-year plan that measures were taken to tackle poverty directly by introducing various poverty alleviation programs. These programs, however, have achieved only limited success. The poverty rate in India declined from about 26.1% in 2000 to 21.9% in 2011. Inflation. Poverty is aggravated under the situation of inflation. The five-year plans have not been able to stabilize the prices, due to which there has been a steep rise in the general prices. The inflation rate was around 10% in 2012. Rising inequality. With rapid economic growth, the country has been witnessing a rise in the level of inequality, which has been estimated to reach 1% from about 58% of the country's wealth. Poor performance of the agricultural sector and lack of investments in rural infrastructure are cited as the primary reason for such rising inequalities. Political instability. Political instability and inefficient management. The first past the post FATP system can lead to disproportionate outcomes, lack of proportional representation, and limited political diversity. Critically examined. Reference: Indian Express. Introduction. The first past the post FATP system is also known as the simple majority system. In this voting method, the candidate with the highest number of votes in a constituency is declared the winner. This system is used in India in direct elections to the Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies. Article 81 of the Constitution stipulates for FPTP. Body. FPTP is not truly democratic. A democratic decision, in order to be considered legitimate, must include all those affected by it in the decision-making process. The FPTP system only violates this as minorities are not given accorded representation. Forget about participation in the decision-making process. An electoral system skewed in favor of majority is not conducive to a heterogeneous India, particularly when the Indian Constitution also does not have political safeguards for religious minorities. Results in two-party system. Global government. Results in two-party system. Global government. A French political scientist argued that the FPTP system tends to bring about the two-party system at the constituency level. In countries like India, this translated into the establishment of a two-party system at the state level, which happened between 1967 and 1989. FPTP is not truly representative. FPTP has completely failed to ensure representation to the minorities commensurate with their demographic share. For instance, Muslims, the largest religious minority in India, have visible representation in both the present Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies. They exclude minority parties from representation in parliament or councils if they don't have concentration areas where their candidates can win. Lesser women MPs, MLAs, as they don't have area of concentration. In the FPTP system, there is absolutely no link between the vote share made by the political parties and the permanent number of seats secured. For instance, in the 2014 general elections in India, the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) had 31% of the vote share, which was translated into almost 52% of the total seats in the Lok Sabha. The 19% vote share for the Congress, however, meant only 8% of the seats. FPTP mostly manufactured majorities by exaggerating the share of seats of the leading party while it simultaneously penalizes smaller parties, particularly those who support dissipation dispersed. We need to re-examine the FPTP system in India. Democracy, in order to be legitimate, has to be inclusive, and this cannot be sacrificed to the altar of stability and simplicity. In India itself, there is a fast-growing recognition that the FPTP system may not completely fulfill the goal of representative democracy. The Law Commission, in its 170th report, submitted in 1999, recommended that India be combined the FPTP system with PR, modeled on the lines of the hybrid system followed in Germany. To that end, the report suggested an increase in the Lok Sabha seats by an additional 25%, which would be filled by PR, while the FPTP system would continue to be used as earlier for the existing seats. This proposal was regulated by the Law Commission in its 255th report issued in 2015, though the government is yet to examine its proposals and take the next steps. After the state assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh once again produced good results in favor of the Labour Party, and all-party parliamentary panel has started looking at alternatives to FPTP. After the state assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh once again produced good results in favor of the Labour Party, and all-party parliamentary panel has started looking at alternatives to FPTP. Even internationally, there is growing discontent with FPTP, and many democracies, including India and Canada, are replacing PR. One of India's closest neighbors, Nepal, has chosen a hybrid electoral system combining FPTP with PR. However, it would be wrong to assume that a PR system or a hybrid system for that matter would be a panacea for all problems facing Indian democracy. After all, even the PR system would eventually lead to representative decision-making, calling on shades of opinion. After all, even the PR system would eventually lead to representative decision-making, calling on shades of opinion that needs to be left. India must consider proportion to their population. This suggestion was put forward by Ambedkar, states and minorities. A memorandum on the safeguards for minorities in general and the scheduled castes in particular, drafted by Ambedkar and submitted to the Constituent Assembly in 1946. It was in the form of draft articles of the Constitution and had specific provisions on fundamental rights of citizens, safeguards of the rights of minorities and scheduled castes representation in the legislatures, local bodies, executive and services. Conclusion. Thus, the election process and system should safeguard the following principles: for representation, transparency, verifiability, fairness, eligibility to vote, free, secret and universal suffrage, and accessibility. There is no one objectively best system. The need of the hour is to debate, discuss, to evolve a more suitable election system for India with changing times and demography. Value addition. Working of FPTP is the simplest form of plurality, majority system, using single member districts and candidates and voter. The voter is presented with the names of the nominated candidates and votes by choosing one, and only one of them. The winning candidate is simply the person who wins the most votes. In theory, he or she could be elected with 2 votes if every other candidate only secured a single vote. Benefits of FPTP. The FPTP system is simple and easy to understand. There is no need for specialized knowledge of elections and politics required considering the political literacy rate of India. During parliamentary debates, members of Constituency Assembly in scheduled castes in general use rejected the system of proportional representation because of its complexity and difficult to understand for a limited population. Debates link between the constituency, member of parliament, MP, and voter. FPTP fosters representation and geographical accountability. It allows voters to choose between persons rather than parties and values of both party and candidate. Through voter assess performance of individual candidate and party, gives chance to popular candidate to get elected even without party backing. It is a cost-effective method of election. Ensures stable governance in a diverse country like India. Limitations of FPTP. The object of the system is just to decide which candidate races faster than almost a people of horse race from where the term FPTP originated. Also, the daily approach is relative to the candidate by a landslide or a while a candidate represents only a part of the constituency in the of the body, so it leads to more serious issues in the state and national level. It will encourage development of ethnic parties. Political parties base their plans, policies in favor of particular clan, religion, region, etc. Which extends the limitation of boundaries, basis of genuine Hindu. It leaves a large number of wasted votes which will not go towards the election of any candidate. The other issue with the FPTP is that the threshold is so high that even parties cannot enter the play. General studies. 4. What are the implications of the National Research Foundation NRF Bill 2023 and the challenges in establishing a comprehensive research ecosystem in India? Discuss. Reference. The Introduction. Recently, the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, has approved the introduction of the National Research Foundation NRF Bill 2023 in Parliament. The bill will repeal the Science and Engineering Research Board Reserve, a statutory body that was established in 2008 to promote basic research in science and engineering and to provide financial assistance to persons engaged in R&D. Objective of National Research Foundation. To ensure that scientific research was conducted and funded activity and greater participation from the private sector was promoted. To focus on creating a policy framework and putting in place regulatory processes that will encourage collaboration and increase spending by the industry on R&D. The NRF aims to involve colleges and universities in scientific research, as currently less than 1% of the nearly 40,000 higher learning institutions in India are engaged in research. The NRF plans to build research capacities in universities by encouraging activities in the field of NRF propositions, regardless of age, and collaborate with existing faculty. Features of establishment of NRF. The bill, after approval in the Parliament, will establish NRF, an apex body to provide high-level strategic direction of scientific research in India as per recommendations of the National Education Policy (NEP) at a total estimated cost of Rs. 50,000 crores during 5 years, 2023-28. Subsumption of SERM. The bill will repeal the Science and Engineering Research Board SERM, established by an Act of Parliament in 2008 and subsumed into NRF, which has an expanded mandate and covers activities over and above the activities of SERM. Administration and governance. The Department of Science and Technology (DST) will be the administrative department of NRF, which will be governed by a governing board consisting of eminent researchers and professionals across disciplines. The Prime Minister will be the ex officio president of the board, and the Union Minister of Science and Technology and Union Minister of Education will be the ex officio vice presidents. NRF's functioning will be governed by an executive council chaired by the principal scientific advisor to the Government of India. Implications of the bill. Promoting research other than natural science. The NRF will fund and promote research not only in natural sciences but also in humanities, social sciences, and art. This integration is crucial for fostering creativity, critical thinking, and communication skills. Currently, research in these areas is establishing curriculums for social sciences, Indian languages and knowledge systems, arts, and humanities is among the NRF's goals. National priorities. It seeks to identify priority areas where science and technology interventions can contribute to national objectives such as clean energy, climate change, sustainable infrastructure, improved transportation, and accessible and affordable healthcare. Enhanced funding. It seeks to increase funding for scientific research in India, both from government and private sources. Currently, India's spending on research and development is below 7% of its GDP, but even countries like Egypt or Brazil spend more. US, China, Israel, Japan, and South Korea spend anywhere between 2 to 5% of their respective GDPs on scientific research. Insufficient funding has directly affected the quality and quantity of research output in India. The initial allocation of 50,000 crores over 5 years to the NRF does not contribute to substantial increase which is expected to grow. The NRF gains readiness and demonstrates progress. Challenges with NRF. Financial crunch. 50% of the funding mechanism is dependent on private sector. While the participation of the private industry in the NRF is an important development step, it is unclear how the government will raise 36,000 crore rupees from the industry. The top positions in the NRF hold are reserved for members of the government, including the PM and the Ministers of Science, Technology and Education. Time period. Although the NRF draft mentions that the peer review process will be completed within 6 months, releasing funds may take time, pending financial clearance conclusion. The establishment of the NRF in India holds immense potential to revolutionize the scientific research landscape. By promoting research participation in social sciences, focusing on national priorities, and increasing funding, the NRF will address critical challenges, enhance research output, and foster innovation. With the NRF's effective implementation, India's scientific research ecosystem is poised for significant improvement, leading to transformative outcomes for the nation. 5. Do you think the urban flooding which is being witnessed in metropolitan cities across the nation is a man-made disaster? Critically analyze. Reference. Liquid. Introduction. As the incidence of climate variability and extreme weather events increases, urban flooding becomes more and more common. While the untimely heavy rains can be attributed to climate variability, the urban flooding is largely due to an unplanned urbanization. In many Indian cities, the urban floods have become a frequent phenomenon in recent years. Overburdened drainage, irregular construction, no regard to the natural topography, and hydrogeology all make urban floods a man-made disaster. In the aftermath of the devastating flood situation in Delhi, Prime Minister Modi expressed his concern and assured support to the affected people. The floods caused widespread damage and loss of lives in the region, and the government is mobilizing resources to provide relief and assistance to those affected. Modi. Yes, urban floods is a man-made disaster. Inadequate drainage infrastructure. Cities like Hyderabad, Mumbai rely on centrally owned drainage system, covering only a small part of the coast. In the last 20 years, the Indian cities have grown manifold with its original reserve area. As the city grew beyond its original limits, not much was done to address the absence of adequate drainage systems. Its report last year put the Bengaluru municipality to the poor civil management of stormwater drainage. Rain alteration. Lasting and irreversible damage has been done to the city by property builders, property owners. 6. India played a significant role in the non-aligned movement and worked towards maintaining a policy of non-alignment during the Cold War. However, the complex geopolitical realities of the era made it relatively difficult to achieve, and India occasionally took actions that raised doubts about its adherence to strict non-alignment principles. Analyze. Reference. Insights on India. Introduction. The non-aligned movement now was created and founded during the collapse of the colonial system and the independence struggles of the peoples of Africa, Asia, Latin America and other regions of the world and at the height of the Cold War. Throughout its history, the movement of non-aligned countries has played a fundamental role in the preservation of world peace and security. 4. Role of NAM countries in reducing Cold War conflicts. In the middle of the Cold War, NAM ensured that peoples being oppressed by foreign occupation and domination can exercise their inalienable right to self-determination and independence. South-South cooperation. NAM acted as a protector for the small countries against the Western hegemony. The third world nations and newly independent countries supported each other in their quest for development. Enlightenment. During the 1970s and 1980s, the movement of non-aligned countries played a key role in the struggle for the establishment of a new international economic order, an ideal that allowed all the peoples of the world to make use of their wealth and natural resources and providing a wide platform for the international relations and the economic emancipation of the countries of the South. The summary. The non-aligned movement immediately comes out from measurements of peace, the cessation of arms race and the peaceful coexistence of all states. India's contribution to NAM. As a leader of NAM, India's response to the Cold War power politics was twofold. India steered itself away from the great power politics, positioning itself as an international observer. Raised its voice against the newly decolonized nations from joining the Iron Bloc. During the Cold War, India made a concerted effort to activate those regional and international organizations which were not a part of the alliances led by US and USSR, thus maintaining the spirit of NAM. The General Assembly, India submitted a draft resolution declaring that the use of nuclear weapons would be against the Charter of the United Nations and crime against humanity and should therefore be punished. Non-alignment has been an influential tenet of India's foreign policy since its emergence from decolonization. It was based on a realistic assessment of India's geopolitical situation. One of the chief architects of NAM intended to give India room to maneuver according to its own interests rather than allowing it to become defined within the limitations of the Cold War lines. Critical analysis. India's inclination towards erstwhile USSR created confusion in smaller members. It led to the beginning of NAM and small nations drifting towards anti-US or USSR. The cycle of friendship between the Soviet Union was a painful time and India was considered anti-US for a long time. However, with the end of Cold War power politics and emergence of unipolar world non-alignment, both as an international movement as well as the core of India's foreign policy has lost some of its relevance and importance. The NAM countries did not have any concrete initiative in the context of crisis in Syria and Libya. Many non-aligned countries, including India, are continuing NAM's historical legacy and have reoriented their foreign policy towards strengthening engagements with major powers such as US USA, Russia and China for their domestic development agenda. The sparse attendance by heads of government, stated 17th NAM Summit, Venezuela, is the key evidence of the crisis of relevance of NAM. According to C. Raja Mohan, NAM is in the state of COND. It is passing through the crisis of identity and relevance. Conclusion. Non-alignment as a foreign policy is very much alive even today in India's foreign policy. The strategic autonomy approach is a manifestation of the same. The NAM platform is still the biggest arena of developing nations. Hence it becomes relevant to mobilize international public opinion against terrorism, weapons of mass destruction, WMDs, nuclear proliferation, ecological imbalance, safeguarding interests of developing countries in WTO, World Trade Organization. 7. The parliamentary standing committees are essential institutions in the Indian parliamentary system, tasked with examining and scrutinizing bills, policies, and matters related to governance. However, over time, their role as a deliberative and consensus building body has faced certain challenges, leading to a diminishing impact. Critically analyzed. Reference. Introduction. In the Indian Parliament, a standing committee is a committee consisting of members of Parliament. It is a permanent and regular committee which is constituted from time to time according to the provisions of an Act of Parliament or rules of procedure and conduct of business. Both houses of Parliament, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, have similar committee structures with a few exceptions. Parliamentary committees draw their authority from Article 105 on privileges of Parliament members and Article 118 on Parliament's authority to make rules for regulating its procedure and conduct of business. The government has constituted a new internal oversight mechanism for official data, revamping a standing committee on economic statistics (SCES) set up in late 2019, soon after the findings from the last round of household surveys on consumption, expenditure and employment were general, citing data quality issues. Body. Significance of parliamentary standing committees. Parliament is the embodiment of the people's will. Committees are an instrument of Parliament for its own effective function. Committees are platforms for threadbare discussion on a proposed law. A smaller cohort of lawmakers, assembled on the basis of the proportional strength of individual parties and interests and expertise of individual lawmakers, could have more open, intensive and better informed discussions. Committee meetings are closed door and members are not bound by party whips, which allows them the latitude for a more meaningful exchange of views against discussions in full and open houses where grandstanding and party positions invariably take precedence. Members of Parliament may have great acumen, but they would require the assistance of experts in dealing with such situations. It is through committees that such expertise is drawn into lawmaking. Executive accountability to the legislature is enforced through questions in Parliament also, which are answered by ministers. However, department standing committees go one step further and hear from senior officials of the government in a closed setting, allowing for more detailed discussions. This mechanism also enables parliamentarians to understand the executive processes closely. Role of committees. Support Parliament's work. Examine ministerial budgets, consider demands for grants, analyze legislation and scrutinize the government's work. Example is referred to by the Chairman, Rajya Sabha or the Speaker, Lok Sabha. Consideration of annual reports. Consideration of national basic long-term policy documents presented to the House and referred to the committee by the Chairman, Rajya Sabha or the Speaker, Lok Sabha. Challenges faced. Assistant absentees from meetings of department-related standing committees should cost MPs less or not. These parliamentary panels want to strongly emerge during a meeting of chairpersons of the committees of Rajya Sabha, Chairman and Member 9%. 11 of the 22 bills introduced in the ongoing session of Parliament have been passed, which makes it a highly productive session after many years. But these bills have been passed without scrutiny by parliamentary standing committees, their purpose being to enable detailed consideration of a piece of legislation. After the formation of the 17th Lok Sabha, parliamentary standing committees have not been constituted as consultations among parties is still underway. Partly as a result of this, the bills were passed without committee scrutiny. They were discussed in Parliament over durations ranging between 2 and 5 hours. Way forward. Parliamentary committees don't have dedicated subject-wise research support available. In order to A. As per international protocol, what are the principles of equitable and reasonable utilization and the no harm rule? Examine the challenges and opportunities in incorporating the aforementioned principles in the Indus Water Treaty to address the water sharing disputes between India and Pakistan. Reference. The Introduction. International water law principles of equitable and reasonable utilization and the no harm rule are crucial elements in managing shared water resources between countries. These principles are enshrined in various international water agreements, conventions, and customary international law. Body. Principles of equitable and reasonable utilization and the no harm rule. Principle of equitable and reasonable utilization. This principle emphasizes that water resources should be shared in a manner that is fair and reasonable among all riparian states. It acknowledges that each state has a right to access and utilize the waters of an international water course, but this right should be exercised in a way that takes into account the needs and interests of all parties involved. It encourages cooperation and negotiation among riparian states to ensure the best possible utilization of the shared water resources. No harm rule. The no harm rule stipulates that the state should not cause significant harm to other riparian states through its water use activities. This means that any use of water resources should be carried out in a way that avoids causing substantial negative impacts on neighboring states. The no harm rule aims to prevent any activities that might lead to unreasonable harm or damage to the environment or other users of the shared water course. It is the water treaty between India and Pakistan. The treaty gives India control of 3 distinct rivers, Ravi and Sitluj, with a mean annual flow of 33 million acre-feet map. Pakistan gets control of 3 western rivers, Chenab, Indus and Jhelum, with a mean annual flow of 80 map. The treaty gives India 20% of the water from the Indus river system and the rest 80% to utilize the waters of western rivers for limited irrigation using mountains of use for such applications as power generation, navigation. Thus, India can generate hydroelectricity through a run-of-the-river projects without the storage of waters on the western rivers, subject to specific criteria for design and operation. Further, Pakistan also has the right to raise concerns on the design of Indian hydroelectric projects on western rivers. The treaty allowed India to have a minimum storage level on the western rivers, meaning it can store up to 3.75 MAF of water for conservation and flood storage purposes. The Permanent Indus Commission was set up by the United Nations for resolving any disputes that may arise in water sharing. The functions of the Commission include serving as a forum for exchange of information on the rivers, for continued cooperation and as a first stop for resolution of conflicts. Challenges in incorporating the aforementioned principles. Historical context of political tensions. The Indus Waters Treaty was signed in 1960 between India and Pakistan, facilitated by the World Bank to govern the sharing of the Indus River and its tributaries. Over the years, political tensions between the two countries have affected the implementation. Beginning coral reefs reduce their ability to protect coastal communities from storms and sea level rise, making these areas more vulnerable to natural disasters and the impacts of climate change. Efforts to protect these two coral reefs are essential to safeguarding the well-being of both marine wildlife and human communities. Example. Reference. Down to earth. Introduction. Coral bleaching refers to the corals expel a certain algae known as zooxanthellae, which lives in the tissues of the coral in a symbiotic relationship. About 90% of the energy of the coral is provided by the zooxanthellae, which are bound with chlorophyll and other pigments. They are responsible for the yellow or reddish brown colors of the host coral. In addition, the zooxanthellae can live as ecosymbions with jellyfish also. The water of South Florida is over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius in July, and scientists are already seeing signs of coral bleaching off Central and South America. An alarming milestone in the one that points to the continued threat of climate change and greenhouse gas emissions. Body. Causes of coral bleaching. Natural causes. Climate change. Rising sea surface temperature. The main cause of coral bleaching is heat stress resulting from high sea temperatures. Temperature increases of only 1 degree Celsius for only 4 weeks can trigger bleaching events. If these temperatures persist for longer periods, 8 weeks or more, corals begin to die. The frequency of storms such as those associated with El Niño southern oscillation events has resulted in the devastation of very large areas of coral. In fact, 60% of the world's corals were affected by the 1997-1998 El Niño event. Increased solar irradiance, bleaching during the summer months. During seasonal temperature irradiance, maximum often occurs disproportionately in shallow living corals and